So, hello friends, my name is Rahul Chaudhary and today we are going to perform a program in Django using AJAX method. So, let's start our project. I have to first activate my environment. My env scripts, and here we have to type cmd activate. My environment is activated, then I have to get back to my project folder. So, we are going to here is my sum project folder. Inside this we have done the project which is sum of two numbers in Django. So we will first get inside that folder, cd sum, and open VS Code using terminal. We use this command code space period. Let's press enter. My VS Code is open. So let's close this all and type one more command, which is python manage.py run server. So this particular command is in this particular command, python is a command, manage.py is a file, and run server is a command which is responsible to start the web server, precisely WSGI, web server gateway interface, so that HTTP request and response cycle can be initiated. So let's fire this command. Now we will go to browser and hit the URL. So here we have to type localhost colon 8000, where my localhost is my IP address and this 8000 is my port number, and this will take me to the home template. And if I give suppose slash and I will write something like some or any other, then it will redirect me to that particular template. So let's start with the home page first. Whenever I will press enter to it, it will take me to the home page. So let's see what is going in the backend. So this is my some folder. This is my root directory. So whenever user will enter that localhost colon 8000, WSGI will give a call to urls.py file, and it will compare the route, and whichever routes get matched, the following FBV will be executed or invoked. Okay, so as we have hit the URL localhost colon 8000, which is by default redirect us to the home page. So let's go to urls.py. So here, this particular path function which we have is responsible to redirect to uh, open the home template that we have, and this is a path function, and we can only execute this particular path functions. uh, all three path function can only be executed when we have imported the path from the django.urls package. So why we are calling it package? This from is a keyword which is referring to the package. Django is the package and urls is my sub package from where we are importing path. This import referring to the module we are importing, and this path is our module. And again, in the next line we have written from sum, means from referring to a package, where my sum is the package, and import views, where import is referring to a module which is views. Okay, after this two lines only we can execute the path function. Here it is the path function which is taking three parameters, where first parameter is an empty string which reflects or indicates that this path will be execute for the home template or the home function. Okay, then we have second parameter as views.home, means uh, in views views file we have a function based view called home. So it will redirect us to that particular function. And this name, this is an aliasing just that we have used to give an alias name to this entire path function. So whenever we will type localhost colon 8000, and as I said, it will reflect me the home page, and this empty string implies that this particular path function will execute for home page. So they both will compare and will get matched. Then my this particular function based view will get executed. So let's go. So here we have my home function, which is taking a request of HTTP request type, and returning a render function with the request, and as well as with a string that holds the path of my home template. So let's go to template and web home.html. Template inside web home.html. So this is particularly the code which is responsible for displaying us the home template that we have seen just now, this particular page. And you must be thinking that this just we have written 4 lines of code, but we are getting a home template or home page displayed. Why so? Because uh, as you can see, here we have written a command, curly braces open, percentage sign extends base.html, percentage curly braces close. So this is, you might be thinking this is not a regular HTML page. Yes, you are absolutely correct. This is not an regular HTML page. Instead, we have used here Django template engine Jinja, so that we can. That is the reason we have used this particular statement or code, so that we can inherit extends means what? We are inheriting a property from the base class. So this base.html is my base class and home.html is my derived class. So we are inheriting the properties from our base class. So let's go to base class. So here we have declared all the details which are necessary for any page to inherit, and whatever they want to inherit, that all are given in the base.html file. Like we have linked the AJAX here, we have linked the jQuery here, then we have linked the CS, the bootstrap, and then we have inside our body we have ampersand includes, which will include my navbar, then my body, and then the footer. So this this was my home home page. Then, as I said, this particular project is of adding two integer values. So let's focus on that now. So by going to sum, here we are getting a template of sum. Like as you can see here, a slash sum is appended to the my localhost colon 8000, means whatever my home page URL was, one slash sum slash is added to it. So this is my template of sum. Now let's go. So if I directly type this entire URL, let's do it. Copy, and I am in home. Okay, and I'm not clicking on the sum menu. Rather, I am pasting the URL here. So suppose if someone is not writing the localhost colon 8000, and rather they are writing this localhost colon 8000 slash sum slash, then it will directly open this page, and again the same process will be executed. It will the WSGI will give a call to the URL spike, and it will compare the route, and whichever gets matched it will execute. Like suppose the any user will enter this this entire URL directly, rather writing localhost colon 8000, which is for home page. So it will again come here in inside urls.py file, and it will compare which particular route uh, is matching. Then my this particular route will get matched, this particular route, and this function based view will get executed, which is inside a view file. So let's get into this. So one more thing, when we are clicking when we are clicking on this particular button, so some backend backend process is going on. So let's understand that first. So when we are clicking on the sum button on the nav bar, then we are processing a get request. Basically we want that template, so that is a get request. So here we have written, if the request dot method is equal to get, means if I am asking for something, I am not giving anything, I am asking for something, get request, then it will return me the render function, which holds two parameters, request and a string that have my sum template. So let's get into the sum template. So here it is. As I have said, extends base.html. Why we have used that? Then we have our body where we have written, uh, we have given one text field for inputting the input one. Then we have displayed sum, which is of read only type. Then we have taken another text field that will take the input 2, and then we have used the submit button, and here we have id acknowledge that to display the output or result. Okay, so let's get here. So first we are entering some number like 4 and 4. So whenever I will be clicking on this particular button calculate, what will happen? This particular calculate will give a call to my AJAX. So before AJAX we have jQuery as well. So let's see, whenever this particular template is coming to the user from the server, my jQuery is also executing simultaneously. That's why we are seeing this DOM is ready. Let's see in the code. So views. So suppose I got the template, I have filled out the input or the detail that I want to provide, and now uh, I want to click that particular click that button, submit button or calculate button. Okay, so by the time I will be, and there is one more thing, whatever CSS or JS file we will keep inside a static folder. So like this only, we have a static folder. Inside that we have a subfolder CSS, and inside that we have our CSS file style.css. And same with the JavaScript, we have created a subfolder of name.js, and inside that we have ajax.js. So now it is a very interesting part. So by the time when I have entered my input 1, my input 2, and now I want to click on the calculate button. So by the time I will press on the calculate button. So it will execute a particular method called AJAX. So before AJAX, I have written some basic syntax of jQuery here. So the this first particular line is document.ready function. This ready function is a function which will ensure that all my DOM elements get ready, then only I will execute this ready function. Here we have written console.log DOM is ready. So that is the reason we are saying here DOM is ready. Okay, so whenever my entire DOM elements get ready, then only my jQuery ready function will execute. Okay, and as I said, Ajax is not executed yet. Only the jQuery ready function is executed, because Ajax need a event to occur for its execution. So that if that particular event is not happened yet. So which event I am talking about? I am talking about this calculate button. By the time when I will click on this particular calculate button, my Ajax is get called. So I'm still not pressed that calculate button. Before pressing that, let's understand these few lines. So how I have targeted that particular button? By using its ID, which is submit underscore button hash. We are using hash here because we are referring to the ID, and we are using dollar here and here because it is a part of a jQuery that we use to access any DOM element. Okay, so this particular click event is responsible for calling my Ajax method. Okay, so this is particularly this dot click is an event handler, which is itself a function that is taking another function. So we can also call it as a callback function, because when a function takes a function as an argument, it is called callback function. So when this particular event handler will happen, so we have written event dot prevent default. So it will prevent the default behavior which is taking the default behavior uh, of basically this is to take the input as submit and reload the entire page, which we don't want. That's why we have used event dot prevent default, because we want to prevent the default form submission, and we don't want to reload the entire page, so that we can handle it manually and manipulate it. So that's why we have written here we are inside ready function. So by the time when I will be clicking on the calculate button after providing the inputs to both the fields, this particular line we will see in the console. Okay, so after clicking on the sub calculate button, we will fetching or pulling out the values from the text field 1 and text field 2. So this particular lines indicate that only, that we are pulling out the values from the text field 1 and text field 2, which have the id as num underscore 1 and num underscore 2. Okay, then coming to our ajax method. So this is particularly a method which will executed 50% of this method will be executed first, and the rest 50% method will be executed later. This 50% will be executed first, and this 50% will be executed later. So let's come into this particular 50%. So we will get inside our AJAX method, as because the this particular event is occurred, so it will redirect us to the, so it has some keys here. First is URL, second is method, then we have data. So URL, it will redirect us to the URL sum again. Then we have method at post, because we are submitting the data. And we have data which holds the items as key and value. Like this is my key num underscore one, and this is my value that we have pulled out from the text field here. Like basically we can also use this particular line that we have written, uh, hashtag num underscore one. We can directly write this particular line here also, but for our convenience, we have stored this value in the num underscore one a variable, and then we are using it in here. Okay, then coming to the third key, which is CSRF token. CSRF token is a security feature that is inbuilt in Django server. So just a second, I will show you. Let's close this console and view page source. As I said, we have two input text field and one read only, and I have shown you the same thing in my template, in my Jinja code also. Okay, but here what we are seeing in the source code, there are one input field, one input field. Okay, this number one. Then again we have this sum, which is read only field. Then we have input 2, but there is one more input type field which is of type hidden and named as CSRF middleware token, and also it holds some values. So what is basically CSRF middleware token? CSRF middleware token is a security feature, as I said, in Django itself. So coming first of all, CSRF stands for cross-site request forgery, and it is responsible for preventing hacking or any malicious practices. So when a template is sent to user, then one CSRF token is also generated by Django server, and it is sent with that particular template, and one copy of CSRF token is kept or reserved within the Django server. So by the time when a user will fill their details in the form and click the submit button, the prevent default behavior we will prevent the default behavior so that it cannot resubmit the template, uh, and the entire page will get reloaded. Rather, the Django server will uh, check and match the CSRF token that was sent along with the template, and the one copy that the server itself has. If and only if they are same, then only it will accept the submission, otherwise not. So this is basically CSRF middleware token. So we will pass these three elements to my sum sum. So let's get again to the sum. This is my sum, and my method is post. So here basically we are doing a typecasting, because whatever input we will take, it will be in a string type. So we are making it in integer, and this particular num underscore one will be same as my this, sorry, this num1 means the inside AJAX method and inside data the key num underscore 1 should be same as my views num1 num1 num underscore 1 and num, no sorry, this particular num request dot post dot get num underscore 1 and num underscore 2. This should be same, this should be having same name always. Then I am here checking if not num1 or not num2. Suppose user will not enter any number, then what to do? That's why I am checking here that num1 and num2 should hold some values. If this particular, if my this particular if statement is true, then I will return a JSON response which hold this particular value. And otherwise, if everything is okay, then I will calculate the sum of both the numbers num1 and num2, and then I will return a JSON response where I am sending total and acknowledge, which holds sum of two number is total. Okay, so again get into AJAX. My this portion, this 50% portion is executed. Now it's turn for this 50%. So the JSON response will come here, then it will try, the JSON response will be come here, and if it is true, if it is true, then it will enter in the success portion, and if it is false, then it will enter into the error function. So if it is true, then it will acknowledge and update the acknowledge text as whatever the total field is, and response dot total, because I have that key in my JSON response called total. And if not, then it will update the acknowledge text as error occurred. What and you might be thinking that what is acknowledge here. So I have shown you in the very first time that I have created a div tag which have id as acknowledge. So in this particular area it will update, it will get updated the my text. So this was the AJAX method. Let's calculate now. We have written 4 plus 4. We should inspect, go to console. uh, DOM is ready, it's showing DOM is ready, and by the time when I will be clicking on the calculate button, all the backend process I have explained you now, this will going to happen. And we will also see this this coming to my console. We are inside ready function, so let's press on the calculate. So here we are getting this written as we are inside ready function, and we are getting the total as 8. In this particular area I have created a div which have a id as acknowledge, that's why it is showing here. So thank you, hope you enjoyed the video.